apologies. How precisely do we do the zombie killing?
Welcome back, movie fans, as we take a look at Zack Snyder's most recent zombie creation that mounted a split amongst fans. Now sit back as I give some of the top trivia facts for Army of the Dead, and if you enjoy the video, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to help support my small channel. At the beginning of the movie, when the military convoy transport is moving Zeus, you can see at least 2 UFOs taking off into the skies over Area 51. This is a reference to George A. Romero's The Night of the Living Dead, where the movie plague is revealed to possibly be extraterrestrial in origin. Dave Bautista turned down an offer to appear in the Suicide Squad 2021 in order to work on this film. Director Zack Snyder spent a couple of years buying every 1960s era Canon Dream lens he could find on eBay to give the film a soft, organic look in contrast to the harsh apocalyptic zombie landscape in the film. He also spent a year before the film collaborating with Red Studios on designing custom-made cameras that combine digital camera technology with the Canon Dream lens. The production of Army of the Dead dates back to 2009, when Zack Snyder wrote the script but turned down the chance to direct the film for other projects. James Gunn also briefly considered to direct the film until he too turned it down. The film would have 2 other directors enter and leave the project until it was revitalized in 2018. James Gunn had written Zack Snyder's previous zombie film, Dawn of the Dead, 2004, but passed on directing this film, which Snyder had written, due to his focusing on The Suicide Squad, 2021. Tig Notaro had to shoot all of her insert scenes alone. Notaro was inserted digitally. This was a precaution as she is a cancer survivor and needed to film in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. Army of the Dead is the second most expensive zombie film produced. World War Z holds the record for the highest budgeted film at $160 million US. Army of the Dead had an estimated budget of $90 million. Coincidentally, $90 million was the original budget of World War Z before reshoots ballooned the budget by another $70 million. There are billboards advertising Larry Fong as a magician. Zack Snyder and Larry Fong have collaborated on 300, Watchmen, Batman vs. Superman, and Sucker Punch. Fong is a cinematographer and real-life magician. After comedian Chris D'Elia was accused of multiple women of predatory sexual behavior, Netflix replaced his character with comedian Tig Notaro. While the decision is generally considered to have been the right one by others in the industry, it cost the company millions to stage reshoots with Notaro and digitally add her character into the film. A practical zombie horse that Zeus rides through the remains of Las Vegas was devised by Gabriel Bartalos. Makeup head Justin Rowley reveals that a real horse was transformed using multiple layers, a muscle and bone structure layer, and then a pelt layer on top of that. And then little sinewy bits would be added along with the face piece that the horse would wear. Everything that the actors touched or walked on was real and practical. However, everything else consisting on the tops of the buildings and Las Vegas skyline was created by VFX. In its first 4 weeks on Netflix, the film garnered an estimated 72 million views, making it one of the most successful debuts on the platform. Director Zack Snyder drew his own storyboards for the film, and also serves as a cinematographer and B-camera operator for this film. This film marks Snyder's first non-superhero and original non-IP production in a decade, with Sucker Punch 2011 being the previous. Rob Hinderstein was responsible for the dental designs and zombie teeth. Custom teeth were created for all of the hero players, while generic dentures were manufactured in small, medium, and large sizes for the background zombies. The Alpha's teeth were designed to be serrated in appearance, while the Shamblers were created as more rotten looking, as if they were ready to fall out. Valentine the zombie tiger is definitely an alpha, and therefore was bit and turned by Zeus. He also appears to show the most intelligence as an alpha zombie, and most recollection of his original life before being bit, as he still acts like an animal in certain scenes, mostly shot in Albuquerque and Atlantic City. Only a couple of the scenes were actually filmed in Las Vegas. Named Zeus in the script, the Zombie King is portrayed by an actor and stunt performer Richard Citrone. Richard was covered in silicone prosthetics from the waist up. The complex appliance makeup included a full chest piece and a full back piece. It was also made up of triceps, biceps, a wraparound shoulder piece, forearm pieces, top of the hands, and a full seamless neck. Along with these pieces, the makeup featured a cowl and 6 more appliances for the face. And at times, they would also use a cooling vest over the actor to keep his body temperature down. To top it all off, Richard Citrone wore custom yellow and orange contact lenses and deformed and discolored teeth. It was said that there were 8-hour pre-calls for the makeup crew. They would be in at midnight to work an 8-hour shift. Production would start at 8 a.m., they would shoot their day, and then the makeup team would have to clean up all of the people at the end of the night. There were days back to back where they had 150 people that were coming in and had to go through various levels of prosthetic or airbrush work. Omari Hardwick added on 15 pounds of muscle to play his role. Garrett Dillahunt is no stranger to the zombie genre, as he was a main character in AMC's Fear the Walking Dead for several years. The film had over 1,100 VFX shots. Director Zack Snyder set the film in a post-zombie apocalypse, but there was one slight problem. The film was set in Las Vegas, and key rooftop sequences were needed. The team were met with hard no's from all the hotel casino management teams. They wanted nothing to do with them. Not only could the production not access the roofs, but they couldn't get into the casino properties at all. Snyder took his crew to Atlantic City, New Jersey and Albuquerque, New Mexico. For realism, the VFX team created a digital map of the Vegas skyline and replicated it in VFX. Director Zack Snyder said one of the most challenging sequences in the film isn't the most obvious. The opening scene where the soldiers first encountered Zeus took 5 weeks to shoot because Snyder wanted to shoot at dusk in natural light. It took 5 weeks of shooting to get the footage used in the final film, which many technical elements added to the challenge. At the end of the movie, before realizing that he's about to become the new Zeus because he was bit by him, Vandero quotes Joseph Campbell, a renowned philosopher whose most famous work is The Hero's Journey, a comprehensive look on the various story elements in myths. It is also revealed during the title sequence Van has a master's degree in philosophy. Some of the zombies are actually robots. This is never explained in the film, but Zack Snyder confirmed it. If you pay close attention, there's a number of zombies that are clearly not zombies. You see normal zombies, and then you see some robot zombies. Yeah, I don't know what the hell that's about, but I confirmed it. I watched it again and saw it, so that's kind of weird. When the zombie queen's head is dropped off the top of the casino building, it hits the cement below with a resounding and gory practical splat. The splatting head was filled with dark fake blood, methicil, ultra slime, and pieces of banana. Fractured FX also mixed together some thermal gel and candle wax to form a crumbly yet rubbery brain consistency. There's a theory that the entire movie is a time loop of some sort. The crew comes across several corpses wearing identical clothes to their own, and one character even lampshades the possibility. The King Zombie Zeus's final death is a combination of practical elements and digital effects. Facial damage was accomplished with appliances, and the final explosion was a digital visual effect. The zombie body count amounts to 130 kills throughout the entire movie. When the team come across the time loop theory skeletons that Vandero's character describes try to break through the fence to the safe, the female skeleton has a skeleton key around her neck, clearly the same key as Maria Cruz has around hers in the scene before her death. This time loop theory and story that Van's character alludes to does propose a big question. Are they already dead? UFOs, time loops, and robot zombies? What the heck is going on with this movie? Perhaps we'll never know. Well, that about wraps it up for this crazy Zack Snyder zombie cut. Make sure to check out my other trivia videos, links in the description, and let me know if there is a movie you'd like me to do next. Until then, keep watching that cinema, and stay cool, guys.